Hi, it's Steph. Welcome back to my channel where I give you quick tips and tricks on how to navigate Excel. Today let's talk about checking your formulas for errors and seeing where they come from and where they're going. There's a really cool tool on the Formulas tab, this Trace Precedents and Trace Dependence and Remove Arrows. These three work together. So if you get a spreadsheet and maybe you're tasked with figuring out if the formulas are right and if everything is being picked up properly, you can choose a cell that you want to check, and let's see what fed into this cell, what created this formula. You could try to figure out what this formula in the bar is saying, and this is a very simple formula, and you can press F2 and sort of see what it's doing. But if you wanted a visual representation of what's feeding this formula, you can click the Trace Precedence button, and it will actually give you an arrow here that shows the top of the range and where it's going. So it's showing me that it is summing this whole area. You can click on another one, and let's trace precedence here. What if you're doing a grand total? Trace precedence once shows me what it's picking up, but if you press it again, it actually gives you little sub arrows within that data to show you that there's more things happening here. What if we clicked on the trace dependence? Tracing dependence will show you where this cell is being used in another formula. So I can see it's moving down here. Let's trace precedence on one of these, because here's a formula that's very simple. But let's trace precedence. It's obviously using this number compared to this number. And let's click it again, and it's showing that this number is actually coming from all the way up here. But this number has this interesting arrow and a little table here. If I click on that cell, it's actually coming from another file called original download. And one of the things that I struggle with, or used to struggle with in Excel, was when I would see this table icon, how would I know necessarily where that table was, where it came from? So one of the tricks that I use is to find any external Excel file that's being referenced. And I do that by pressing Control F for find. And I just do a star XLS, which will give me any Excel file. Even if it's a SLXX file, it's still going to find that because XLS is within XLSX. So I would click Find All, and then it gives me this nice list of all the cells that have external references and where they're referencing. And then I can go look at these files. This original download file happens to already be open. And if I go up here to View, Switch Windows, Original Download, now that file is active. And so I can actually use this file to look in and see where it's at. But if this file was closed, then this formula would give the path, the file path. So I would actually be able to locate the file, open it up, and see what that file is doing. But for now, we'll go back to my demo data set, close this up, and that's how you can figure out what that table is that it's referencing. So again, use your arrows under Formula to trace dependence, or sorry, that's trace precedence, to see what that cell, where it's coming from. And trace dependence is where else is it used. I actually did that over here, I think on one of these formulas here, trace dependence, and I found that it was referencing something down here. In fact, if I go here and say trace precedence, I can see, oh, I'm doing a calculation using this column and this column to feed this number here. So you can see the power of using these arrows and actually being able to identify what is happening with some of these formulas. Again, formula, trace precedence. Okay, that's also using this same data. So I hope you found that helpful. To get rid of these, super simple, remove arrows. And now you're back to a nice, clean spreadsheet. I hope you found that insightful about how to check your formulas using the trace precedence, trace dependence, formula tools. Please give me a thumbs up if you found this helpful. Comment below if there's anything else that you want to learn about. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time.